Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Headbangers Closet. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope you had a great day. This video is in response to the contest from George G over at George G's Room of Rock. The contest of 1,000 subscribers. So, great job, dude. Well deserved. I watch a lot of YouTube channels for the VC and then, other things I'm interested in as well. And I got to say, George, dude, like I said, well deserved, man. Your content's awesome. I love watching it. I don't always comment because some of the things you're talking about, like I don't particularly know too well like you did. I think the LA Guns album's ranked, and although I like a few songs, I'm not a giant fan of the band, so I really didn't comment on that, but I watched it and I took it in, and you know what? You got me listening to some LA Guns, dude. Came home from Houston today, saw Metallica last night in Houston, was coming home today, listening to LA Guns on the plane. So you got me, you got that in my head, dude. So yeah, like I said, well deserved. This is the contest for 1,000 subscribers. I don't recall what the prizes were. I watched the video last week, and I was going to wait until I got back from my trip to do my response. Appreciate tagging me in, buddy. Buddy, I'm gonna spell. The first thing is, spell 1,000 with records, CDs, tapes, whatnot, the band name, the album name, song title, and then give a bunch of shout outs, channels that, that we watch. Shout out the channels that we care about and watch on a regular basis. So I'm going to do that. So again, congratulations, buddy. Well deserved. Love the channel. Love, supporting you. Love the support you give me. Really appreciate that. So let's get right to it, dude. All right, here we go. For O, we have Onslaught, The Force. Their best album, in my opinion, my favorite Onslaught record. They put some stuff out after this that I was into, and then it'd be like the next release I wasn't into, and then the next one after that I wasn't into. It's a weird kind of like love-hate relationship I have with this band, but this thing's awesome. Love it. Classic 80s thrash metal. Let me put this over here. All right. Next we have for N in 1, we have Nuclear Assault's Game Over. Again, 80s thrash. You guys know that's my thing. Can't get away from it. Don't want to get away from it. Love it. So Nuclear Assault's Game Over for the N. And then E, we have another 80s thrash metal album. Exhumer, Possessed by Fire. Awesome record. Love these guys. These guys are a band. To me, this album, sounds a lot like early Slayer. It's got that vibe to it, a little bit of that sound as well. Really like these guys. Don't get enough attention, in my opinion, in the VC. So maybe anybody watching this, if you dig Exhumer, give them some love on your channel, man. These guys are great, awesome band. For 1,000 T, we have my favorite Toxic Holocaust album. This one right here is Annihilation, An Overdose of Death, my bad. Pretty cool, colored, like bright purple vinyl. These guys rule. It's really just one guy, Joel Grind, right? Like, really, really love this band. He's one of the nicest guys in metal, too. I've been able to see them live a couple of times in Atlanta in recent years. And the first one being right before COVID, like, shut everything down. Like, I want to say they played in literally a week later. Like shit was like, all right, we're not doing this. Everything shut down, and of course touring stopped. But I got to see these guys, see Joel play, and met him at the merch booth. He was just standing there. I was like, hey man, bought a T-shirt and I bought 2 albums from him, and I got him a picture with him. And then all of a sudden, maybe just a couple of years ago, they played again at the same venue in Atlanta at the Masquerade. I was able to meet him again and get my photo with him. Just an overall, just good dude, and he writes kick-ass speed metal. So next thing we have the H. We have the latest from Hellripper, Warlocks, Grim and Withered Hags. Badass blackened speed metal. Sun, green vinyl. Sorry about the glare, but yeah, if you guys haven't listened to Hellripper, another kind of one-man show, right? Just like Haunt and just like Toxic Holocaust. Great stuff. They made it over here to the States. I believe their very first shows they did Hell's Heroes, and I think they did Maryland Death Fest. I could be wrong on that, but I think they did Maryland Death Fest. But yeah, Warlocks, Grim and Withered Hags, great record from Hellripper. Awesome stuff. If you haven't given these guys a listen, do so immediately. You will not be disappointed. So for the O in 1,000, we have the latest from Overkill, Scorched. Great record. George, you showed this, I believe, on your video as well, or one of your recent videos. And you saw these guys on this tour as I did. Great album. Overkill always puts out quality thrash metal. You cannot go wrong picking up any Overkill album, really. But these guys are great album, and they sounded awesome live as well. And then for the U, we have UFO's Lights Out. Awesome album. Dig UFO. You know, I don't own everything they've done, but I've got pretty much all their records on at least CD. Great band. I listen to these guys a lot, actually. A lot. I started thinking about it. I listen to them a lot more often than I really realized, but just kind of cool because these dudes are influencing a lot of other bands I like. You know, Kirk Hammett, Metallica. You know, Metallica being my favorite band, obviously. You know, just listen to a lot of UFO, so I always like to listen to those guys as well and kind of see, you know, if I dig them in. With UFO I did, but, you know, great band. And then for the S, we have the EP from Sodom, Out of the Frontline Trench. Killer EP, right? You got Genesis 19, Down on Your Knees, and Out of the Frontline Trench. You flip it over to side 2, you got Agent Orange, is re-recorded. I believe this thing came out, like, I think in, when was it? 2019. I didn't actually buy this, I think, until 2021 maybe, but anyway, they did a re-recording of Agent Orange, which sounds pretty good. Doesn't beat the original in my opinion, but still sounds good. And then you have Bombenhagel Live. That's my German accent. But anyway, this is a pretty killer EP. I really like it. It's got the cool, you know, like clear black splattered vinyl, but awesome EP, Out of the Frontline Trench. Looking forward to their new album, which I think comes out next Friday. I haven't really been digging the 2 singles they put out, but I want to listen to the album and kind of give it, you know, a fair shake before I commit to, you know, either purchasing it or passing. But like I said, I haven't really been sold on the 2 singles they put out. So we'll see what happens. And then for the A and 1000, we have Agent Steel. This is a Mad Locust Rising. This is another EP. It's a reissue on the kind of clear and splatter, but really cool album. The Swarm is Upon Us, instrumental, and Mad Locust Rising is killer tune. You flip it over and you get Judas Priest covered The Ripper, and then you get Let It Be Done and the Day at Guyana on the second song on side B. But really cool, awesome EP. And you know, I wanted to give this one love because I actually been listening to this lately, but really great stuff by Agent Steel. And then for the end, we have one of the best albums I've listened to in the last year. The latest album from Night, The Cult of the Serpent Sun. Great record. I did a video where I talked about this album before, and I kind of liken it to Ghost if they still had balls, right? So it's not, you know, like the first album, Ghost, and that's kind of what these guys sound like. Great guitar riffs, awesome melodies, killer solos, great vocals. Give this thing a listen. It's Night, The Cult of the Serpent Sun. Awesome record. And then to close it out with the D and 1000, we have Epidemic of Violence by Demolition Hammer. I like their first album better, but this thing has my favorite Demolition Hammer song on it, which is Pyroclastic Annihilation. Just killer tune. Great, you know, newish, you know, out of that 80s. I mean, I know that they formed in the 80s. This album came out in the 90s, but just that great heavier style thrash metal that was coming out around that time, which is great stuff. Awesome album, Demolition Hammer. Check it out. And now for the shout outs. I watch a lot of YouTube channels, man. I try to watch a lot of you guys in the VC. I'm really into fishing, so I watch a lot of fishing channels. I'm not going to shout them out. This is just going to be purely like VC stuff. But in no particular order, really. I just kind of going through them as I usually have them in my list on YouTube to watch. But got to go with my buddy VK at the Zepro channel. Vance, he's such a cool dude. And I want to mention him first because I wouldn't be doing this channel if it wasn't for him. Just his, what's the word I'm looking for? Like tutelage, I guess. You know, just being super supportive of me when I started and kind of giving me tips to help me, if I would get discouraged because I know nobody was watching my videos back in the day. And I still don't really have a lot of subscribers, but just like George and a lot of the other people I'm going to mention, a lot of you guys have mentioned me on your channels, and he was trying to do that from the beginning. He had me on a live video. I don't think it was like, I don't know if you call it live stream, live video. We just talked metal. Had me on a couple times. We did an unboxing together of one of Metallica's Vinyl Club issues, releases. And just he's been so supportive of me and helping me on my journey with this channel. And he's just a great guy. I was able to meet him a handful of years ago. I went to Chicago to see Metallica at Lollapalooza. I got to hang out with him the day before the show and then a little bit the day of the show. Just a great dude. Really looking forward to getting back to Chicago and going to a show with him up there in his hometown. He's always going to shows, and I watch so many of your videos, but a lot of the bands and stuff you covering, I don't know enough about. Like, I watch all your Led Zeppelin videos, man, and I'm not even like a Led Zeppelin fan. But I just do it to support you, man. I love the channel, love everything you've done for me. So I want to mention VK on that one. Then we've got Mark over at Metal Never Dies, another super cool dude. Always like to joke, leave the reviews to him because he's so good at it. He'll do those reviews, man, and you might have listened to an album and weren't really feeling it. Then you watch his review, and then you got to come back around, give it another shot. That has happened to me on multiple occasions, most notably the last Gatecreeper album. But if I'll listen to something, and then he'll do a review, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I've been listening to that lately. It's a great album. Or I'll just, hear his review and want to check something out. So great dude, Mark over at Metal Never Dies. And we have Metal Marty Mack. Another great dude, another OG guy I was watching for the last few years. A guy that's kind of helped me with my channel just by watching him. And you'll kind of seeing what he does, and then maybe try to implement a little bit of something of that to my channel. Great dude. Always love watching his videos where he gets like a care package from the VC and see what he gets. He's got an awesome collection. Of course, George G's Room of Rock. I've been watching your channel probably, I guess, for about a year or so now. Love it. I love this your setup, man. Like, all you guys have great setups like behind you. Love, like, the vinyl racks and the racks of like CD and the posters and whatnot. Love all that. I really like watching George's channel. We kind of the same age. I think we're originally from the same part of the country. Like a lot of the same bands. Both of us are massive Motley Crue fans. So I just love watching his channel and seeing what he's got to show. Then we got Matt over at the Accusation Network. Killer stuff. The production on those videos, second to none. Love the backdrop as well. Love the video where you kind of took us through like your house and like your rooms and everything. That was really cool. Love watching the videos there. A lot of cool stuff. What's coming out this month, kind of let you know which vinyl variants to pick up, stuff like that. The vinyl hauls, everything. Love it. Great dude. Then we got my buddy Mark over at Twanger's Turntable, another dude that I love watching. Such a great guy. You just love supporting people like that because you're just genuinely good people. Killer collection. Love your backdrop as well, dude. I love the support you give me from your channel as well. Appreciate that. Dude, we're going to go to Metallica one day. I swear to God, if they come up to your area, I know you're not going to come down here really, so if they come back to Canada in your area, I am buying an extra ticket, and I'm taking you to the damn show with me, so you mark my words. So after that, we got Steve, Harmless Rebel, good buddy of mine, lives just about an hour away. We go to a lot of shows together. Hung out with him at Haunt and Satan back in the spring. He was at the Metallica show in Atlanta, but I did not get to see him, unfortunately. Would have loved to be able to kind of hang out, on the floor with him prior to the bands, but I had to give out the fan card, so I kind of missed all that. So, until the next one, buddy, I'm sure I'll see you probably at Judas Priest or something like that coming up soon. But really great guy, Harmless Rebel, awesome stuff. Then we got Randero's Music World, super cool guy, always real supportive, has great stuff. He's got a different taste than I do. He's not all metal. He's into other stuff too, which is really cool to see him talk about like a band like, Creator, and then he talks about like a pop band. So I think that's super cool. He's got awesome stuff. I love when he goes to these like festivals and talks about it and brings like a merch haul. Really cool dude. Another guy, OG, Mike Mueller, Met fan Mike. Got to give a shout out to him, just like VK. If Mike wasn't around, I would not have this channel either. If his channel wasn't around, I wouldn't have mine. He was so supportive of me. Went to see Metallica in Charlotte in October of 2018, and he interviewed me for a video he was doing for the Metallica Black ticket holders and that tour. And he interviewed me in Charlotte, and I had been a fan of his channel, but that was the first time we actually met face-to-face, and we hit it off. We've become, not just good friends, but great friends. I see him at a lot of the shows I go to from Metallica. Always get to good to hang out with him, spend some time just talking to him. He's got the killer video series where he's doing a trades, Color Our World Blackened, and he's going to do a trade with somebody from like every country, and when he does, he colors that country on the map in black, and then the whole world will be black. So got an awesome item to send to him for the trade when he jumps back on that, so looking forward to that. But yeah, Mike Mueller, Met fan Mike, awesome dude. Then we've got Sean the Beast, another cool guy I've been watching for not too long. He's gotten me into a lot of really cool black metal bands. I've always been a fan of death metal, so I've been listening to a lot of stuff he's been listening to as well, but he's been giving me some suggestions for black metal, and I've been kind of diving into some black metal the last few months, so appreciate that. But Sean's a super cool guy. Love watching his videos. He's such a nice person, just like everybody on this list. You just like supporting their channel because they're good people. Then Kenny from Kenny's Record Collection, another super cool guy, so knowledgeable. When I watch his videos, I just sometimes have a smile on my face. Just, it might be a subject or an album I really don't know much about, but just watching his just vast knowledge of that pressing or that item, or the history of that album or whatnot. Super cool dude. Go down the rabbit hole with him on some of the Misfit stuff and Kiss stuff, and he also does videos on like collectible type stuff too. Super cool guy, great dude. Check out his channel. Then we got Northern Vinyl Guy. All right, awesome channel. Another one like Rendero. Eclectic collection, like not just metal like I am. Like I just listen to metal. That's all I do, right? But eclectic collection, a lot of cool stuff. Some of the albums he's been showing, especially the one where he got a lot of records from like a radio station. I was kind of checking him out. Some of it really wasn't my thing, but some of it I could kind of get into and at least appreciate. But he's another great dude. We got Scott Waters, No Life Till Metal, another great guy. Really like watching his channel. Like the amount of like metal knowledge this dude has is off the charts. Love watching the videos, and always has tons of comments. I try to drop a comment when I can, but just every video is like super cool, and he's given me a handful of album recommendations over the last few years as well. Super cool dude. Old head, all right, what else can I say? Just old head says it all, right? So I actually met him yesterday in line from Metallica in Houston. So that was my 99th Metallica show. Flew in on Thursday afternoon. Show was Saturday. I get into the venue to the general admission line, and I see him with his wife just standing there. And I was like, I don't want to bother him. He's in line with his wife. It's hot. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to not say hello. So I just went up and introduced myself. Like, hey, man, I'm Brent, Headbangers Closet. Appreciate all the work you do on the channel. Appreciate your support. Shook his hand, told him enjoy the show, and kind of left it at that. But just really nice guy. I've been watching his channel for years, interacting with him on all social media platforms for years as well. We have a lot of favorite albums in common. Obviously Metallica being our favorite band is another one of those things we have in common. I think he and I are two of the very few people whose favorite Anthrax record is State of Euphoria. But really cool guy. Glad I was able to just, shake his hand and get to meet him in person. Great dude. And Aaron, Mother Alamere, super cool guy. I watch a lot of his channels. Love the Tipsy Tuesday stuff. He's got the beer mug, and he's playing the stuff. He's singing along. He's always got his Chargers hat, which is great. So I like the Chargers now. I got Lad McConkey, my Georgia boy. So I'll watch the Chargers a bit. But yeah, I always like watching him. There's a whole bunch more. I didn't want to make a crazy long video. I'm at a little bit over 19 here, but all you guys, man, I appreciate everything y'all do. Most of y'all have shouted me out in your channel, so I really appreciate that as well. I always try to reciprocate the favor when possible, but we'll be doing that on this one. So shout out to all you guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to keep watching your videos. You guys keep making them. And same for me. So appreciate everybody checking out my channel. George, once again, congratulations, dude. 1,000 subs. Really awesome. Well deserved. Appreciate you letting me be part of this contest. And like I said earlier, don't really know remember what the prizes are. But if I win, I'm going to pay it forward anyway. That's always my plans. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a great day. And I'll have another video for you guys very soon. Cheers, everybody.